A serious flood threat is developing in portions of Puerto Rico and other island nations. We'll look at that and the forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. It is Tuesday afternoon. I hope you're having a great day so far. Coming up in this video, we're going to talk about some extremely heavy rain and some flooding potential for portions of our area. Look ahead to the rain chance in your area as we move through the week. Thank you so much for liking the video. We'll get right into it. And I do want to start this video with some of the more serious situations that are developing right now in portions of our area. We're going to kick it off with what's happening right now in Puerto Rico. You're looking at the live radar out of San Juan on this Tuesday afternoon. I can tell you this right now, the radar image is not clearly showing all of the rain that's falling right now. I've been looking at the different elevations of the radar, but there is more rain out there than what the radar is currently showing you. But you get the idea that showers continue to develop across the island. We've had some extremely heavy rain. As a matter of fact, just a couple of hours ago, we had a flash flood warning for areas just south of San Juan. But rain will continue to develop. The potential for some additional flash flooding will be with us for the remainder of our Tuesday, but not just that, for the next several days as well, as showers and even isolated storms will continue to develop across this island. Again, we have a trough across the area leading to a lot of lift and instability in the atmosphere, which is leading to this excessive rainfall. It's not just Puerto Rico, but certainly we've had a kind of a bullseye in portions of the island. We've had some heavier rain and some river rises on the eastern side of the island and some of the coastal areas like Fajardo and Esperanza and Culebra. We continue to see some rain move across St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John and the British Virgin Islands as well. All of these locations from time to time will be under the gun for some excessive rainfall and some potential flash flooding issues between now and Friday. And then you go off a little bit to the west, and Hispaniola continues to see showers and some excessive rain developing right now. Again, it's very area dependent, but we've had some heavy rain in portions of Haiti, and especially in the Dominican Republic from Santiago de los Caballeros, other inland areas. Now we're starting to see some of that rain develop along the coastline from Santo Domingo on over towards Punta Cana. So this is a situation my friends in this area really need to keep an eye on. As a matter of fact, one of the commenters yesterday said, look, we've already lost power in portions of Puerto Rico with some of the rain. So the additional rain that is forecast is just not going to help out the situation. So for Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands and the Dominican Republic in some areas. Obviously, when you're talking about flooding, it's not going to be everyone. Not all of us are going to have the same impacts as others, but in some locations, some flood-prone areas, several inches of rain are likely. Again, flash flooding is a possibility, quick river rises, landslides, and mudslides. And this excessive rain is a possibility in this area through Friday. So several more days. I'll keep an eye on it. Please check in with your local officials and your local government for any actionable scenarios that you need to take regarding the flooding issue. But I'll monitor the overall broad perspective. And again, with this trough that's situated over the area, this is not going to change much. There's not going to be much in the way of any better, drier weather getting in until we get into late into the week. Looking at the water vapor imagery here, let me go to the low levels. You can just see again, there's scattered low level moisture in play. We look at the water vapor levels, water vapor in the upper levels of the atmosphere. There's more upper level moisture that's streaming back into this area. And with that trough situated over the region, it's just not going to dry out until at least late in the week. So that's the situation there. We're taking a look now at what's happening in your area currently right now. These are your temperatures, and for some reason they are all over the place right now. Looks like we might have some bad data. So let me take that off. It's very interesting. I'm going to flip that back on and see if it's doing the same thing. Maybe it'll calm down. All right, it quieted down. That's good news. Current temperatures in your area. This is a loop over the last 6 hours, but obviously when we look at the areas that have had some rain, you're going to see those temperatures drop. So somewhere like Punta Cana, where we're starting to see some showers move into the eastern sides of the Dominican Republic, they're back down to 84 degrees. Puerto Plata has been in the lower 80s for some time. You can see that green there just on this loop. And again, mid-afternoon, we had that flash flood warning just south of San Juan. Most of the island is situated in the lower 80s with thick cloud coverage outside and a pretty good breeze. Same situation for the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands as the showers move through, like towards Charlotte Amalie there in St. Thomas. They'll be dropped back down to the lower 80s. The moisture is more limited into the lesser Antilles, including the Leeward Islands, where temperatures there have warmed up a bit. But again, some isolated showers are possible in this area. The haze is another big story, the thick Saharan dust layer, and we're going to look at that coming up. And that thick Saharan dust layer actually becomes even more prominent the farther south in the Lesser Antilles that you go, especially from Martinica, St. Lucia, and Barbados south towards Trinidad and Tobago. And again, isolated rain is possible there. You can see temperatures there in the Spadestown, Bridgetown area, Barbados dropping back down to the 80s. Trinidad and Tobago, it's been mainly high and dry, upper 80s to the lower 90s. Same thing for my friends of the ABC Islands. I feel like we haven't been talking about rain there in quite some time. For my friends in Jamaica, an isolated shower or two trying to get going on this Tuesday late afternoon. You can see the blow up of clouds mainly in the interior sections there. Manchester and Westmoreland, maybe as far northwest of the Montego Bay area and Negril, Mandeville and Maypen and Savannah Lamar. But isolated to scattered showers and even a rumble of thunder is possible across Jamaica for today. And coming up here, we're going to look at the rainfall forecast over the next 5 days across most areas. So I got to tell you something. It's another beautiful afternoon in the Bahamas. Here in Central Florida, we got to the 50s this morning, and some areas of the Bahamas are going to try and nudge into the lower 60s tomorrow morning. You want to talk about a cool late April day with some beautiful weather. That's what you're seeing there. So that's kind of the current situation for us here. Now I want to get into what that Saharan dust layer looks like. So I'm going to take myself off camera. And you can see that those brighter clouds are where we have the thick Saharan dust. And that envelops most of the Lesser Antilles, sneaking into the British and the U.S. Virgin Islands and the ABC Islands. And all of this is going to be working its way off towards the west. It will be dissipating somewhat as it does so, but extremely hazy conditions, any respiratory sufferers, you're going to have some problems here. And again, those really bright oranges from Barbados back down towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, really seeing a thick layer of Saharan dust. It does suppress the chance for rain a little bit. And it's really interesting because now as it moves over Puerto Rico, you're going to get the haze, but there's still plenty of moisture in play to provide us with additional shower and storm chances. Friends, as we get into the forecast itself right now, thank you so much for liking this video. If you're not a subscriber and you've been looking for the latest forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, subscribe right now. And again, do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind sharing the channel and this video with your family and friends, if you think they would get something out of it, I would be most appreciative. So we're going to take a look at the rainfall over the next 5 days. And then we're going to also take a look at how much rain is going to be falling. Again, I concentrate the heaviest rainfall potential in the areas that I've already mentioned, but it goes without saying that with this rain that is potentially in the forecast, we continue to see the opportunity for additional flash flooding. And that's just going to be a situation that we'll be monitoring each and every day for you here. So in Hispaniola, scattered showers and storms will continue to develop mainly in the afternoon hours. It doesn't mean we're not going to get some rain during the overnight hours. It doesn't mean we might not have some morning showers, but the heaviest rain will be concentrated in the afternoon. You can see as we get into tomorrow, scattered rain continues to develop. A little bit more concentrated on the Dominican Republic side, but Haiti has seen some rain, Port-au-Prince, Lacaille included in that. But you can see these scattered showers continue to kind of stick around at least somewhat overnight. And then look at this flare up of rain again on our Thursday. Could be excessive heavy rain through a lot of the island, obviously being a very mountainous island with already saturated soil. You continue to add on to those rain totals, you continue to see that flash flooding potential. We will begin to dry out beginning on Friday. It's certainly not completely dry on Friday, but that axis of most rich moisture begins to move away from the island, so the rain does become a bit more spotty, especially as we get into Saturday. Again, still not completely dry, but we're going to try and move the excessive rain away. Do want to mention for the Turks and Caicos real quick, you're just close enough to this moisture of rain where you're going to get some scattered showers here, but I don't expect any excessive rainfall, but an opportunity at least for a few showers in the Turks and Caicos almost each and every afternoon. Okay, let's get into the forecast for Puerto Rico. It's about the same scenario as the Dominican Republic, but the timing is slightly different. We didn't have a ton of rain last night, but I'm still looking at things and thinking that the most excessive rain and the most widespread rain will occur during the evening hours, potentially even overnight. Again, we've had a lot of rain this afternoon, but you can see on the model here, redevelopment of the showers for tomorrow, but some of this trying to stick around through portions of the evening, even some showers moving in the morning hours. As we get into Thursday, it's the same scenario. There's a lot of green and yellow on the map. Friday comes around and we're going to finally start to dry out a little bit as well. Just like the Dominican Republic drying out, Puerto Rico will begin to see the rain chances lower into Friday and the weekend. For the eastern coastal islands and then the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands, the rain has been a bit more spotty, but it doesn't mean we haven't had some issues there. So all of these areas still under the gun for additional flash flood potential. So keep an eye out for that. Again, it may not be as concentrated in Tortola and Cruz Bay and Christiansted and Charlotte-Amalie, but in those islands, we're close enough to kind of this thick moisture where we're going to see scattered rain and potentially even some heavier rain continue to develop. Now, we're going to get some showers for Anguilla and Barbuda and Antigua and St. Kitts and Nevis and Saba and St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, down towards Guadalupe, Dominica, but it's going to be just more isolated in nature. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. We actually might see a bit more rain move into this area later in the week, but especially areas off to the south. So generally speaking, many dry hours and locations, but there's an opportunity to pick up some showers in this area over the next 5 days. Then as we get down towards Dominica and Martinique, and again, areas south, St. Lucia and Barbados, as the thickest dust moves away and begins to clear out, behind it, we actually are going to have some moisture coming in from the Western Atlantic, and rain chances in this area should begin to improve a little bit. I mean, obviously, the Sahara dust layer is undercutting our chance for some showers right now, and it's making it very hot and very humid and not making it very fun to be outside from time to time. But even down towards Trinidad and Tobago here, and let me stop this towards the end of the model here as we get into Friday and Saturday, we're going to try and throw in a little bit more shower activity. So we're looking forward to that. Now the ABC Islands will catch a couple of showers as this moisture moves in, but the chance of rain in this area, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, continues to be 10%. I don't even want to put it at 20%. We might catch a couple of showers lifting off of the islands, but generally speaking here, the rain chance is going to be very limited. Now, we continue to see moisture drive in to Jamaica, and I want to look at that next for us here. That being said, I do think our best opportunity for some rain between now and Thursday, maybe even Friday, is actually going to be this afternoon. So I hope we continue to get some showers in the area. My friends, let me know in the comments section below, because I take you out in time for tomorrow. An isolated shower is possible. For Thursday, it's about the same scenario. There's nothing certainly concentrated. Friday, we might try and eke out a little bit more rain, and then into Saturday, I'll be monitoring it. But again, there's not anything extremely concentrated. Now, we have had some localized heavier rain across the island from time to time the last couple of afternoons. That is good to see, because I just don't think that we're going to have a concentration of rain across the island here, at least over the next 5 days. I wanted to also mention down in Central America, Panama City and Costa Rica, big old slug of moisture there, and actually just kind of a little system that's sitting over that region right now, which will spin up additional showers and storms. Sorry, the curse is still going crazy on me here. So for the rest of Central America, it's much more isolated in nature. Honduras and Nicaragua, Belize, up towards the Yucatan as well. And then one area that I think is going to remain high and dry and see some beautiful weather is the Bahamas. Now, we could catch a couple of light showers trying to move back in, mainly over the weekend. I'll be monitoring that, but even this may not even be reaching the ground. The air might actually be a little bit too dry. So let's wrap up what the rain chance looks like, and then we'll take a look at the total precipitation that I expect over the next 5 days. For the next 3 days, this is the rainfall chances I expect. Basically dry in the Bahamas. Belize City, an isolated morning shower is possible. Coastal temperatures, upper 80s. Inland temperatures, upper 90s to near 100. Jamaica, 20% chance for showers tomorrow and Thursday. 30% chance on Friday, hopefully a little bit more over the weekend. The Dominican Republic, we don't want any more rain, but it's coming. Still 70% chance for showers and an isolated storm tomorrow and Thursday. Again, beginning to dry out on Friday, but it's still going to take some time. Saturday and Sunday does look drier, still a 50% chance for Friday. Barbados will just see more moisture coming in behind the Saharan dust layer, so the rain chances improve, especially as we get to Friday. Same thing for Trinidad and Tobago, slightly less, but again, hoping for more moisture moving back in over the weekend, and then a lot of rain and some excessive rain is still possible for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands through Friday. Those are the areas that I'm going to really be concentrated on. So now you're looking at the rain totals over the next 5 days. And again, very, very impressive totals here on our model. So let us query that. Again, you can see, and these are basically just points. We don't ever want to look at one specific point, but when we look at a model that has 2.5 to 2.5 from Santo Domingo to Santiago de los Caballeros, and then bullseyes more than 5 interior, we can say 2 to 5 inches of rain is more than likely going to fall through a good portion of the Dominican Republic between now and Saturday, and even towards the eastern coastline towards Punta Cana, we're getting in about 1.5 inches there. La Romana close to 2 inches, Samana 2.5 to 3. It's a bullseye of some heavier rain that we really have to closely monitor in this area for sure. Over towards our friends in Puerto Rico, again, we might not get the 4 to 5 inches of rain, but I think 2 to 3 plus is absolutely possible. Arecibo on over towards Isabela, and then Vega Baja, San Juan. We've had some heavy rain on the eastern side of the island, but again, one thing this model can't quite pick up on is the really localized flooding and the excessive rainfall in some spots. So even though we're averaging 1 to 2 and locally higher than that, there could be more than that in a few spots that I'll have to monitor. Same thing for the eastern coastal islands. St. Croix, more than 1 inch of rain. St. Thomas and St. John, right about there as well. So let's call it 1 to 3 with some locally higher amounts for the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico between now and Saturday. Again, spottier rain for the Leeward Islands here. There's just nothing that I think is going to be extremely concentrated, but there will be a few showers working their way on through. Notice the model favors the eastern side of the island as our easterly trade winds continue. Barbados, 1/4 inch of rain. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And again, even down towards Trinidad and Tobago, we're trying to get a little bit more rain moving their way back in. And you can see some of those showers there. The model actually says, you know what, not a lot of rain in Trinidad yet, but hopefully it is still to come. Same thing for the ABC Islands. Don't expect a ton of rain there. There's the heavier showers that you see across portions of Central America. For my friends in Jamaica, again, no real flood issues here. Over the next 5 days, I hope we catch a little bit more than this, but Port Antonio, about 1/2 inch of rain. Towards Kingston and Portmore and Spanish Town, maybe about 1/4 inch. Look, if you don't get the rain, you know what's going to happen. Temperatures, lower 30s Celsius for daytime highs. Feels like temperatures above that. It's going to get steamy if these showers don't get going in your area. Again, Belize looks relatively dry, minus a couple of showers along the coast. And the Bahamas, again, as I mentioned, don't expect a lot of rain there, especially over the next 3 days. But it wouldn't surprise me if places like Freeport and Nassau don't see a drop of rain over the next 5. Friends, you know we got you covered here at Meteo Mundo across all of social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. Send me a picture or video at mymetiomundo@gmail.com. Any business inquiries as well. If you have a specific question about the forecast, drop her in the comments section below. I'm happy to answer that. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate you. Stay safe, my friends that are seeing that excessive rain. I'll keep you updated, and I'll see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.